face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hi, y'all. You can get involved by calling. The lines are filling up right now, so you may want to jump in by calling 888-77-53-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week: why do you judge other people's strength against your weakness? Why do you judge other people's strength against your weakness? And we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show live if you're busy doing something right now, you can't sit and watch it. You can listen to it live by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500, anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the whole round world, and for the flat earther, whole up and down world. And for the round earthers, around the world. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram and JLP Talk on Twitter. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, and y'all know what else to do, right? Yes. So, it is Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Envision human figures living in an underground cave and a low wall built along the way like the screen which puppet players have in front of them, over which they show the puppets.
And just let them pour in, let everybody pour in. And then the answer, which is, well, then there will be all these problems. Yes, there should be.
American public welfare system is only expending half.
Violently assaulted for no reason. She even called out, "I'm not fighting you," letting them take the cash and the merchandise.
Of what it should be expending if it were reaching all of the people who are eligible under existing statutes.
Hitting and kicking her over 24 times.
City Council is advancing a bid to remove statues of controversial historical figures.
Yeah, this would include figures such as George Washington, who knew he was controversial.
To them, the truth would be literally nothing but the shadows of the images. And now look again and see what will naturally follow if one of the prisoners is released, approaching nearer to reality and his eyes turned toward more real existence. He has a clearer vision. And if anyone tried to release another and lead him up to the light, let them only catch the offender, and they would put him to death.
Amazing. So deep and so true. I would suggest, it's up to you, of course. I would suggest that you get busy working on you. You're going to be surprised how asleep you really, really are. But once you start to see it, you start to wake up. And once you truly start to wake up, not intellectually, but spiritually, once you truly start to wake up, there's no going back to sleep. There's no going back. And you're going to see that once you truly start waking up, without even trying, you become the enemy of the world. Because all the sleeping people don't want you to wake up. It reminds them that they are asleep. And they will go after you. But it'll be okay. You will understand it. You will be in the lion's den, but you will be unmoved by the lions in the den. Really. The people who are trying to get revenge, the people who are jealous, the people who are biting, the people who are insecure. You will see it. You will see all the lions going after you. But without your effort, you'll be untouched by it. But you got to work on you. You don't have to. You can stay in your hell and suffer. It's up to you. But you can either stay in your hell and suffer or overcome your hell and be free. You are the world, your world. Will you conquer your world? When you conquer your world, you conquer the wide world. It's so amazing. It really is. Last night we had our women's forum, our monthly forum for ladies only. And I have to honestly tell you, it was remarkable. It was soul searching honesty from each individual about themselves. And the ladies are waking up. Not all, of course, but those. And those who listen to the show and those who I counsel with. And not all those who listen to the show, because some women listen to the show, they don't want to wake up, they want to hate. But ladies are waking up. It was all worth it. I closed my eyes for a moment, and the moment was gone because we went overtime. I had to finally just end it. I finally just said, you know what, we're out of here, bye. We got to go. Because I knew I had to get up early, too. It was an amazing meeting last night, a women's forum. And we hold those meetings every third Thursday night for ladies and every first Thursday night for men and Sunday morning for everybody and their mama. And we don't record those meetings because we want the people to be free to. We don't record them, and you're not allowed to gossip about them. You're not allowed to call one another up and, oh, I didn't know that, I didn't know that. So you really open up in those meetings. I've counseled with several women around the country and around the world, and they were like, why don't you do like, I would love to be a part of the ladies' meeting. Why don't you like do an Instagram forum for ladies only or something? And I understand it, and we'll see. But it is worth it being there. And ladies, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. I realize it's hard dying from the ego because that's what it's all about. From talking to people for the last 33, 34 years. I realized that the ego death for 99.9% of people, period, human beings, men and women, is so painful because you truly think that is you. You've taken on all growing up. The moment you pop out of mama's womb, they set up a false standard of living for you, for all of us, and we take on those identities as though they're true standards, and you suffer. You suffer. And when you start to realize it by waking up, you're so deep-rooted in these false standards that have been made for you that it's hard to let it go. Like, what do I have if I don't have my feelings? If I don't have my identities, what will I have? It was amazing. And I realized, too, that if we were to do online meetings like that most people won't be honest in online forums because the cameras are involved. And we live in a world now where it's all about the cameras. You've had people call my show pretending that they were serious about their question, and you find out later it was just about them screaming so they can use it to get their face on camera. They're worshiping the devil and pretending to be seeking help for ego reason only, to enhance the ego, not to get rid of it. But that's human nature, because human nature is evil. It is the human heart is wicked and deceiving. And that's why you have wars and people fighting one another and everybody want to be seen and all this, because the heart is evil. I want to encourage you, do what you want. But I want to encourage you to stop trusting human beings. I don't care how close you're supposed to be or how far you are from one another. The human heart is wicked to the core. I understand now why the Bible said angry people, anyone that has anger is a murderer. Anyone that has anger is a murderer. And that's true. I don't care if it's your parents, your siblings, your friends, your co-worker, your president, your congressperson, your senator, the drug addicts on the streets, your wife, your husband, the drug addict on the streets, the homeless people, whatever. The Gentile, the Jew, the Christian, the Allahu Abba, the rabbi, the Pope, and the Pope is chick. And you trust no one by not trusting them. When you don't trust them, then there's no reason not to trust them. You know what I mean? You just live your life. The heart is wicked. And you can, once you start to wake up, you're going to see, and it's going to be shocking. First, you're going to see your own heart and how shocking that is. Then you see the hearts of others, and it will blow your mind. You will be like, what the? Why do you think about this, why do you think husbands and wives fight one another? Because the heart is wicked. Why do you think a man would marry a woman who's already been married, already have children? And I've heard horror stories from the situation. Because the hearts are wicked. And it's all about self. They think they're getting something, but they're only getting deeper into hell. And the deeper they go into the hell, the more excuses they make. Because in darkness, you can only make excuses. In the light, there are no excuses. But you got to work on yourself. It's up to you. And I realize, without a doubt, that most people, not all, but most people truly love their misery. And they'll find other people who are miserable, and they'll join forces with them to celebrate being miserable. Because they're unable to stand alone and overcome misery. But those who are doing it, overcoming it, they're like, and there are men and women who are doing this. They're like, I just didn't know. I didn't know I had to go and forgive mama. I didn't know I had to forgive my father. I didn't know that truly admitting that I'm wrong for judging you, mama and daddy, will set me free. They just didn't know it, and I understand that. But if you seek, you shall find. Meaning that if you watch, I really want to encourage you to make it a habit, if that's the right word, of closely paying attention to what's happening in you, in the mind and emotions. That alone, with forgiveness, along with forgiveness, will set you free. Nothing else, no one else, nothing physically can do it. Physical can do it. It's a spiritual battle. And the world gone crazy. Look around you. I saw a quick ad this morning, and it says something like, Republicans for Ukraine. And so I paused, and I'm standing there looking at this commercial thing play, Republicans for Ukraine. And they were encouraging our country to send even more money to Ukraine and warplanes and things like that. And I saw where the little Ukrainian man came over here, male came over, for more money and warplane. It was just all about that. It's not about anything else. And I couldn't believe who decided to get these people, so-called Republicans, to do an ad and call it Republicans for Ukraine. Can you get any blinder and dumber than that? How about getting together doing an ad, Republicans for America, Republicans for shutting down the border, Republicans for bringing back police, bringing back bail bonds, bringing back oil drilling, bringing back jobs. How about Republicans be for that? So my producer just gave me this from the Blaze. 4 Republican senators have signed a letter urging President Joe Biden to send missile system to Ukraine. Tom Cotton, Lindsey Graham, Susan Collins of Maine, and Roger Wicker of Mississippi. M-I, cricket letter, I, cricket letter, I, humpback, I. That's how you spell Mississippi. All those people need to be voted out. Elections are coming up. Get rid of Tom Cotton, Lindsey Graham, Susan Collins of Maine, and Roger Wicker of Mississippi. Vote them out. They're for Ukraine. They're not for you. And thousands and thousands of illegal aliens are coming into our country. I saw one report, something like 10,000 came in one day. And yet Tom Cotton, Lindsey Graham, Susan Collins of Maine, and Roger Wicker of Mississippi want to support Ukraine and put America last. And you vote for them. And you continue to vote for them. I don't know who is more insane, the ones that vote for these people or the ones that you vote for, they get in and this is what they do. Follow the money trail. It's about the money. So I would recommend that you work on yourself. I've been doing it, not bragging, I'm just grateful. I've been doing it since I was a kid because I was paying so much attention, even though I didn't have clarity, full understanding at the time. I went through a lot of stuff, but I never stopped working on me, no matter what. Because I knew I needed to change. I knew something was wrong. And they said that you can have paradise on earth. You can have the kingdom of heaven on earth. And if you're of the Father, God, life is supposed to be different for you. And that stuck with me as a kid. And I was like, what the? Let me start finding out what that's all about. It's in the Word. And so start the journey, if you haven't already, of working on you. Keep an eye on, and it's so simple, but yet it's complicated. Keep an eye on what's going on inside of you. Observing it is all you need to do. Don't deny it within yourself. Observe it. Don't hold on to it. Don't meditate on it. Don't hold on to it. Just watch it. Become the watcher of self. All right? Because Grandpa, the world gone crazy. Anyway, so Halloween is in August. That's October, I believe, near the end of October. But some people are already celebrating it. All for the thrill of it. Believe me, it's just about the thrill. Have you noticed that your whole life is about the thrill? The thrill of feeling good. The thrill of feeling anger. The thrill of feeling love. The thrill of feeling hated. It's all about the thrill of it, which is all ego and evil, false identity. But so I guess some people are celebrating Halloween already, all for the thrill of it. Breitbart is reporting that a Louisiana man in the Bucktown area of New Orleans is in hot water with his neighbors due to his extremely bloody Halloween decorations. Watch this compilation.
A controversial Halloween display is turning heads in Bucktown with less than 50 days to Halloween. Some neighbors are calling for it to be removed. We do want to warn you, some might find these images offensive.
Vic Miarana has been building this Halloween display by hand for a year.
These are our parishioners here.
Miarana says their Bucktown home turns heads every year, but this time,
so we have a little religious theme here.
It's also sparked controversy.
We wanted to make people scared, to make them a little uncomfortable.
The decorations depict a beheaded Jesus flanked by a nun and priest. Jesus's head is in the hands of Satan.
It's appalling.
In a word, it's blasphemy.
I decorate. We all have scary stuff. This just is crossing the line.
The neighbor next door said he doesn't see any issue with the decorations.
Every year he goes way overboard on trying to make these displays. Everybody seems to like it, except a few people.
Is it protected under free speech? Yeah, but does that make it right? You know, that's my real question.
Since the post went viral, Miarana says he and his then girlfriend parted ways after she received numerous threats about losing her job.
My girlfriend of 3 years has been harassed and online bullied with her and her family business, and due to that, she asked me to have this removed.
Do you see yourself ever taking it down?
Absolutely not.
Amazing. What do you think about that? Have you seen that, Hassan?
I had not.
What do you think of it?
I mean, it's very interesting.
In what way?
Well, I mean, I think it immediately can evoke some sort of I don't know. It's just interesting because there's a part of me that definitely feels a way about it. But then there's a part of me that's like, well, he does have the right to do it, and he's got the freedom to do it on his property. And if he wants to do that, then
Hake, have Hake come here for a minute if he can. And so, one part of you feel.
I'm divided. I'm divided on this.
One part feel what?
Just, I mean, there's a part of me that, but I don't want to overreact, but there's a part that's like, that's, you're going a little, being a little overboard there. It is a little disrespectful. It's a little
what?
A little disrespectful.
Disrespectful in what way?
I mean, the whole, decapitated Jesus and having the, it's just a little, it's not even that it's too much because I'm all for going overboard, but it's like, it's just in poor taste, but,
In poor taste in what way?
It's just like it's not even artistic. Like even if he wants to be artistically like a Satanist or something like that, you could do that in a way to where at least it aesthetically is like, like artsy. It doesn't have to be so just overtly vulgar. It's not even. It's just silly at that point. I think kind of.
It's overtly vulgar.
It's just a little overtly vulgar, and not even in a creative way. It's just so blatantly like, wow, okay, I guess.
And it's overtly vulgar in what way?
In a disrespectful kind of just like.
What's the disrespectful part of it? Maybe because I'm black and slow. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole okay. Of course, there's been religious things that tie into Halloween, and that's fine, I guess. But just the whole Jesus decapitated and Satan holding the head like that and the blood. It's just too much. It's just
in the blood. It's that guy Allah Abba person. That's why he did the holding of the head thing.
I don't know. I don't know if that was the guy at the end that was talking, but
I think that was him because he said he's not taking it down. His girlfriend left him because she got threats at her business, her job.
Yeah, he looks like a white man, but I mean,
he did sound kind of southern white, but he looked like Abba a little bit.
Oh yeah,
especially when I saw the head thing holding.
Yeah, it looks like he's a Satanist and a pentagram-ist kind of guy. But
according to my producer, he said he grew up Catholic.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, but yeah, I don't know.
That's understandable.
It definitely.
Okay, so you're torn between two. One hand is overtly vulgar, and on the other hand, you say he has a right to do it.
I mean, it is.
You said that, right?
Yeah, it's his property, I suppose, and I suppose he has freedom of whatever, freedom of speech, I suppose. Although, I'm starting to believe that, when they made up freedom of speech and stuff like that, they really didn't intend that for Muslims. They didn't intend that for...
who they intended for?
Like Christians, like...
Americans.
No, the original Calvinists, like they intended that Christians and... We're going to, really just be kind of in the country, I think. But anyway.
What's a Calvinist?
I think they're like the original.
People who live in a cabin?
No, Calvinists.
Oh.
But anyway.
All right, when I come back, I want to hear from Hake about that. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is Express Yourself Friday. There is a line open, and we're going to get to your calls in a minute, but there's a line open at 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. So the lineup for today, and it's a doozy, at 9 a.m., right after my show, the Hake report.com. The Hake report.com. The guy with the good hair. From 9 to 11 a.m. And James Hake is on fire. Did you see him? He had a guest yesterday. It was interesting. If you didn't see yesterday's show of the Hake Report, podcast it. All right. But from 9 to 11, the HakeReport.com. And then at 12 noon today on Fridays, brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. Interesting conversations with Kevin Sabo and Marcus Green. And Kevin is a hard work. It's three of them. Kevin, and he has two brothers. They work together like a real team. And they work hard. And they came from a poor background. And they white. But yet they're not sitting around complaining. They're not begging. They're not whining. They're moving on with life. It's amazing. But Kevin is the writer, and star of a YouTube series called The Adventures of Save a Ho. Not Navajo, but Save a Ho. And Marcus is the CEO, a rapper and the CEO of Teflon Entertainment. And he's also in the movie Save a Ho. Watch this teaser.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Is Italian and white the same thing?
Italians are pretty much just the coolest white people. I seen my family get murdered in front of me, so
oh, nice.
Music was the way to escape that childhood rage and things like that.
Do you have children?
I got 7. They all got different mothers.
What a slut maker. What the? Do you believe there's such a thing as a good woman? Have you ever met one? The Great White Hope. Did you vote for him?
Oh, you know who I voted for? Who? These nuts.
What's wrong with the blacks?
A lot of my black friends aren't great about being on time.
Today at 12 noon, I think you're going to like it. It was very interesting. And you can support The Fallen State by going to thefallenstate.tv/donate. Right? Something like that. And locals.com. So check it out. And then at 4 p.m. today, the one, the only, flying high of natural energy, a natural high. not off pot, not off fentanyl, not off vaping, not off swimming across the border, but God-given energy, the American anchor baby. He ain't the anchor baby for nothing. He giving back to America. Why you laugh? Hassan, at 4 p.m. today, Pacific time, the American anchor baby. And one quick thing, podcast, wow, walking on water. Hassan with the 2 S's. Very interesting. He's here every Wednesday. Very interesting show this past week. I think all of them have been like different. Interesting. He ain't walking on water for nothing. Wow, WOW. Do we have your little thing to put up there? What? Wake up over there. Wow. And then, see, that's his dog. I think he wants so badly to bring that dog into the studio, but I doubt if that happened. But you got pictures of the dog, videos of the dog, that's enough. And then on Tuesday, Joel Friday TV right here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. So a lot going on. He black. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Pacific time. We have some more good news coming up about Joel Friday too. It's in the making. Anyway, I want to just replay Hassan. Oh, by the way, to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP talk and rebuildingdemand.com and Bond JLP on Cash App. All right? I want to just replay this first soundbite and then get Hake's response to it and your response to it. What do you think about this? This is from Breitbart. A Louisiana man is in Bucktown area of New Orleans, is in hot water with his neighbors due to his extremely bloody Halloween decoration. Watch this again, just for Hake and everybody to see.
A controversial Halloween display is turning heads in Bucktown. With less than 50 days to Halloween, some neighbors are calling for it to be removed. We do want to warn you, some might find these images offensive.
Vic Miarana has been building this Halloween display by hand for a year.
These are our parishioners here.
Miarana says their Bucktown home turns heads every year, but this time,
so we have a little religious theme here.
It's also sparked controversy.
We wanted to make people scared, to make them a little uncomfortable.
The decorations depict a beheaded Jesus flanked by a nun and priest. Jesus's head is in the hands of Satan.
It's appalling.
In a word, it's blasphemy.
I decorate. We all have scary stuff. This just is crossing the line.
The neighbor next door said he doesn't see any issue with the decorations.
Every year he goes way overboard on trying to make these displays. Everybody seems to like it, except a few people.
Is it protected under free speech? Yeah, but does that make it right? You know, that's my real question.
Since the post went viral, Mariana says he and his then girlfriend parted ways after she received numerous threats about losing her job.
My girlfriend of 3 years has been harassed and online bullied with her and her family business, and due to that, she asked me to have this removed.
Do you see yourself ever taking it down?
Absolutely not.
So Hassan, one of my experts here on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and the host of Wow, WW Hassan, and the audio engineer, he is torn. One side is and the other side, well, he has free speech. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, unfortunately, that sounds about right.
And you're torn because is depicted Jesus in a bad way?
Yeah, I guess there's probably still a little bit of just maybe righteous ego that I have that I'd probably galvanize with the other people and remove it.
And what do you say about it? Hake of the Hake Report, expert on Jesse Lee Peterson, and the host and the that's it.
I think that their cities should be able to impose on homes not to be all nasty and vulgar like that. You know how
Nasty
the
and
city
vulgar like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how the cities don't let you paint your houses a wild color? I don't know if you're aware of that.
I didn't know that.
In some places you can, in some places you can't. Some of the Mexicans like to paint their houses wild colors, like purple and pink and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Bright orange. And other places like, no, some of them are very strict. I mean, there's homeowners associations that are ridiculous. But I don't really like Halloween displays anyway.
Why not?
Because this type of thing is, it's gross.
What?
It's gross.
In what way?
In that it's meant to be scary and meant to look like death or ghosts or stuff like that. When I was growing up, nobody decorated for Halloween.
They didn't?
They would dress up. They wouldn't decorate, though. They would have a jack-o'-lantern.
You're right about that. I forgot that at one point, Christians didn't really celebrate Halloween.
They would celebrate it. Some of yeah, you're right.
They didn't put up all that stuff. And I remember I went to this last church I used to be a member of. They would encourage the Christians to go to church that day or night rather than...
Yeah, they would do the harvest thing instead of...
Right.
But no, when I was growing up...
get candy and stuff.
We would build haunted houses indoors, though. And we would... we would take over a room from my grandma's house and build a haunted house. And you go through it, and there's noises, and it's dark, and all kinds of scary things. So that's fun. But when it's outside like that, it's kind of... It isn't Christian. I don't know. I never saw it.
Did you say he was a Christian?
This guy?
No, that guy, yeah.
He was a recovering Catholic, meaning he's an atheist.
That's what he said?
He was a former Catholic, right? Didn't he grow up Catholic? Somebody said he grew up Catholic.
Oh, yeah. My producer told me he said he grew up Catholic.
And it was the young man, right? The older man, next door neighbor is fine with it.
Right.
He says, most people are fine with it. Yeah. Only a few people.
So what was wrong with the display with the blood, Satan holding the bloody head of Christ?
Just as gross.
And everybody sitting around with blood there in the...
I don't see it as blasphemous like these people are saying. I don't even necessarily see it as overly disrespectful to like a religion. I know that he's going for that. Like he's kind of has some antagonism. He wants people to feel uncomfortable towards, because he was Catholic and a lot of Catholics are traumatized. They turn atheist.
Oh.
Somebody said normal trajectory. Chef Gummy D said normal Catholic trajectory. And people are overreacting to it. Zeus in the chat said they should just ignore it. And what you resist persists. You're feeding his drive to keep on doing this. He's been building it all year.
Every year.
No, all year he's been building that.
He's been working hard. And so you just see it as gross.
I strictly see it as just gross.
And why do you think he did it? I mean, though you don't know, why do you think he did it?
Because he's an artist. And
Hassan said the artists are the worst kind.
Yeah, Hassan wasn't.
He's not
thought
pleased.
that it wasn't very. It's funny because Hassan's talking about disrespectful and overboard. I'm like, he's one to talk. And
I know. Have you seen his show?
But he's doing it for the thrill of it, like you say.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. This
Yeah.
guy only did it. He's doing that for the thrill of it. And because the people are reacting to it, overreacting to it, next year he's going to do even worse.
Yeah.
Really. And because he wants the thrill of it. That's all it's about.
And and the other people overreacting are thrilled about
They're
it too.
getting the thrill from overreacting.
They're on TV and
yeah, they feel holy. It's blasphemy, so they feel non-blasphemy.
yeah. Even though they have scary stuff up too.
Yeah, it's all for the thrill of it.
Yeah.
The world lives off thrills.
It's like the people overreacting to John Fetterman, being all overly casual,
right?
Looking like a slob.
Yeah. And John loving it.
Yeah.
And his wife loving it, letting him do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's all for the thrill of it.
Terrible.
Anyone that has anger lives off thrills. That's why they go after one another. That's why they form armies against you. They do crazy things like this guy's doing in the yard. It's all for the thrill of it.
He's so committed. He's more committed to that than his girlfriend.
His girlfriend left him, but the thrill of what he got from all it is worth more than the girlfriend.
So, somebody said, I like that he didn't take it down for his girlfriend, though. I do like the fact he kept the display despite his girlfriend leaving.
He loved the thrill more than he loved his girlfriend.
Cartoon for Food said that. His ego will not let him remove the display.
No.
Yeah.
And y'all wait until next year. He going to have the blood running down the sidewalk with Jesus' head floating in it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, people will go extreme.
Yeah.
It's like the pro-abortion people who start celebrating and shouting their abortions and being like,
because they love the thrill of the people who are against abortion.
Yeah.
And these people, it's like devils fighting one another. And so the people who are for abortion, they make videos, I love killing my baby.
Yeah.
And then the people who are quote unquote against abortion, they're like totally overreacting.
Right.
Not knowing that they're giving energy to the abortion people, and the abortion people are giving energy to the non-abortion people.
Yeah.
And devils are fighting one another.
There's these conservatives who show all these gross transgender and drag queen things looking like demons.
Yeah.
And it's like they're totally what Nick, American Anchor Baby, says, signal boosting.
Yeah.
And it's like gross. I don't even want to see that.
Yeah. I saw on Jesse Waters' program where the mayor of out here in California, up there in that nice Armenian neighborhood.
Glendale. Or Burbank.
Burbank.
Yeah.
One of those areas up there.
Yep.
Allow a drag queen to make him lean over and paddle him with a piece of wood.
Yeah.
And he's like so thrilled about it. And he's excited about it because of people overreacting to it.
Yeah.
So that's what that's all about. What a mess.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
People think that they're fighting for righteousness, but it's totally just their own.
Nothing to do with righteousness.
Yeah. Self-righteousness.
It has everything to do with evil.
Yeah.
It really does.
Crazy.
I mean, thank you guys, Hassan and
Hake.
Let me go quickly to Maria out of New York. Maria, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
Do you hear me well?
Are you on a speaker or something?
No, I just wanted to make sure you're hearing me so we don't
No, you're doing fine.
Okay. At first, I wanted to say real quick about this discussion with this thing. It actually did trigger an emotion in me. It was very disturbing to see.
And why?
Because, I think I agree with Hake when he said some cities, he would be on the side of like taking it down, that it really should, there should be boundaries and lines that we set. I know we're a free country. But this still is a Christian nation, and it just feels like it's just another slap in the face, when it comes to them trying to attack Christianity again.
And then why do you need an emotion trigger in order to see that? Why isn't it enough to see what he's doing without feeling anything about it?
That's true, I guess.
No, that was a question.
Yeah. I don't know why it triggers so much feeling, you know? I guess sometimes people feel something in order to make a move.
And so if you didn't feel anything about it, you wouldn't make a move, you think?
To change it. I guess you can know it logically, right? That it's wrong, and you can try to make a move and not feel anything about it, in a way. I guess that's possible, yeah. It's just most of the time, people have their opinion, and then the opinion and the brain, you know, what you're thinking, gives a feeling, and then that feeling. But you're right, you know what? The feeling actually does make you overreact, and then you become just like that person, I guess.
Do you believe that you need to feel something about it in order to see it for what it is? And if you need to take an action, to just take an action? And if you didn't feel anything about it, do you believe that you wouldn't do anything?
I don't think that you need to, no, but I think most people today do need to feel something first. I guess that's a bad thing.
So you think you need to feel something first?
I don't think so, but I think that's what happens most of the time.
And why are you triggered by it then?
I don't know. I seen him because I guess it made me upset just seeing the fact that he was trying to push it, you know, in the Christian faith. But then again, I don't know. It was just like the same way we would be. Most people would be triggered if they seen, you know, a child pornography displayed like that outside on the sidewalk. We wouldn't allow that.
And why would they have to be triggered by it though, in order to take action about it?
Right. No,
that was a question.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. They actually don't. You know. Yeah, they don't. I guess it just shows there's still anger in a lot of people.
Who is
including
worse?
Myself.
Who is worse? The person that will put that type of display out in front of their lawn, or the person that overreacts to it?
Probably you know, it's probably the same. Probably the same, no better than the other person, because they're just making it bigger.
So you think both parties are equally bad?
Yeah.
Amazing. So, Maria, I know you called about something else. You still want to talk about that?
I do.
All right.
It was about anger.
Can you hold it for a minute?
Yes.
Okay, I'll come right back to you and the rest of the callers and your super chats after this. I can't believe an hour gone by already, but we have 2 more hours to go. It's Open Line Friday. We will be reading super chats and moving calls. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, but the hake news. And I'll be back in a moment. The guy with the good hair, back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Rupert Murdoch is retiring at 92. I guess that's okay. Nice age to do that, I suppose. And Ukraine is getting more war welfare on Zelensky's second trip to Washington, the swamp. And illegals are pouring in, and it's getting worse, admits even CNN. This is the end of hour one of the JLP Peterson Show. It is Express Yourself Friday, September 22nd, 2023 AD. The lines are full, guys. JLP will be right back to your calls. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Salute to Rupert Murdoch. 92-year-old Rupert Murdoch, according to CNN and The Skim, is retiring after nearly 70 years of being a newsman type of a guy, supposedly. He's Australian-born and media magnate. He launched Fox News in 1996, America's most watched cable network, 1 million daily viewers. But people are pulling away from cable news nowadays, and honestly, Fox News is not what it once was. He also stepped down at News Corp, which owns the Rhino outlet Wall Street Journal and the sleazy liberal but sometimes centrist New York Post. But he'll be a chairman emeritus, honorary chairman of all these boards that he's on. Next in line is his eldest son, Lachlan, Lachlan. But Rupert does have 5 other children. Lachlan thanked his dad for his pioneering spirit, determination, and enduring legacy. Last part's kind of debatable if you look at Fox News today. Fake news, if you ask me. This year, Fox News settled a defamation lawsuit, that phony defamation lawsuit against the evil liberal Dominion voting systems for $787.5 million. And they lost or fired their top dog, Tucker Carlson, whom we wish well as well. And Ukraine war welfare. CNN says Zelensky went and got another few $100 million out of the White House, $325 million in war welfare support package. His second time visiting the swamp, Washington, D.C. So far, Congress has approved $113 billion in aid, to Ukraine, dwarfing any other country's donations. And Zelensky wants $24 billion more. It's a sticking point because Congress is divided over continuing their misguided support for Ukraine, right? And unfortunately, in the case of a government shutdown, possibly next week, it won't stop training and support of Ukrainian forces per the black-run Pentagon. Hordes of illegals pouring in endlessly, and it's getting worse. CNN reports the number of migrants, so-called migrants they call them, crossing the U.S.-Mexico border is likely going to keep growing, per analysts, as officials grapple with an overwhelming the system number of phony asylum seekers at the southern border. Data from the Panama government shows the number of illegals making the perilous crossing through the Darien Gap is on the rise. Many of these migrants are from Venezuela, where a socioeconomic crisis fueled by President Nicolas Maduro's authoritarian government, they say, and worsened by the globo-homo scamdemic and U.S. sanctions, has led 1 in 4 Venezuelans to flee the country since 2015. A quarter of them. Wow. In response, so-called President Sleepy Joe Biden announced Wednesday the expansion of a form of humanitarian relief to Venezuelans already in the United States, making hundreds of thousands of illegals eligible for work permits and protecting them from deportation, temporary protected status. Disgusting. Evil Joe. Corrupt Joe Biden. They're even corrupting the Navajos, I'll tell you that in next hour. But there's a crazy New York bus crash. 2 adults were killed, several students injured after their bus tumbled down a 50-foot ravine, per CNN, on Thursday on Interstate 84 in Orange County, New York. Not to be confused with Florida or California. That's what Governor Kathy Hochul said. She's the governess. The commercial bus was carrying 40 students and 4 adults from Farmington High School to a band camp event. With the help of emergency, the students were removed from the bus, brought to safety within 45 minutes. Preliminary information indicates a failure of a front tire may have contributed to the accident. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question this week: why do you judge other people's strength against your weakness? Why do you judge other people's strength against your weakness? You can listen to the show anywhere in the world. If you're too busy to sit and watch it right now, you're making breakfast, lunch, or dinner, laying up at a beach, taking fentanyl, or you're a mother who hates your children, you're taking them to daycare right now so you can go to work and pretend to be a man, or you're a preacher woman in a pulpit thinking you sound like a man up there and looking silly, or whatever you might be doing. You can be listening to the show on the iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. And you can podcast the show as well. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And don't forget to follow us on Rumble.com/JesseLeePeterson and Cozy, COZY.TV/JLP. All right? And to get your comments and super chats read out, to get your to donate and have your comments read out loud here, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And Bond JLP on Cash App. And last but not least, rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. It's Friday, second hour of the show today. Every Friday is Get It Off Your Chest Friday. Every Friday is Express Yourself Friday. Shout out to Get a Job.
You are like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Envision human figures living in an underground cave and a low wall built along the way like the screen which puppet players have in front of them, over which they show the puppets.
And just let them pour in, let everybody pour in. And then the answer, which is, well, then there will be all these problems. Yes, there should be.
American public welfare system is only expending half.
Violently assaulted for no reason. She even called out, "I'm not fighting you," letting them take the cash and the merchandise.
Of what it should be expending if it were reaching all of the people who are eligible under existing statutes.
Hitting and kicking her over 24 times.
City Council is advancing a bid to remove statues of controversial historical figures.
Yeah, this would include figures such as George Washington, who knew he was controversial.
To them, the truth would be literally nothing but the shadows of the images. And now look again and see what will naturally follow if one of the prisoners is released. Approaching nearer to reality and his eyes turned toward more real existence, he has a clearer vision. And if anyone tried to release another and lead him up to the light, let them only catch the offender, and they would put him to death.
Amazing. It's like the blacks leaving the Democratic Party, and the rest of the black will chase you down and try to destroy you. One black lead the party, is the plantation of the Democratic Party is over. That's what happens when you live in the walls of your thoughts, of the thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time, and you're living in that wall of them, and you're getting all these false images, and you're calling them life. You're calling them real. But it's just false images. And you tell people, you know what, you're living in the walls of thoughts. It's not true. They don't want to believe that. They're like, what the? They want to hurt you. Don't you come here trying to wake me up and tell me I'm living in a wall, and all I'm seeing are false images, even though they do bring fear, worry, doubt, insecurity, revengeful thoughts and emotions. Don't tell me I'm in a wall. I'm living in a wall. What the? I want to go quickly back to Maria out of New York. Maria, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
Hi. Okay, Jesse. Well, I'm not sure if you remember me, but I did call in a few times. I found you in January, back in January, after I prayed to God about just giving up, I just want to know, I need help because nothing's working. And I called, I actually found your show and I started listening and we spoke and I went and I forgave my mom. I went and forgave my grandma. My dad as well. I didn't go to him physically and forgive him because I didn't really feel any resentment towards him. But anyway, he was away. He really couldn't help me when I was young. Long story short, after that, everything started making so much sense, a lot of things. And I started seeing things a lot more clearer. And I felt like, oh, this is it. This is the answer. I'm healed, and then I started to tell people about it, that all that, and that doesn't really turn out too well. Everybody went up against, this guy, Jesse, my family members. It was weird. Anyway, they got past that. Next thing, my marriage is getting a lot better. I'm realizing what my role is or should be, really should be according to God's will. And all of a sudden, my mom hates my husband, who I thought she liked. And just one thing after another started to happen, and one problem after the other. And then I was starting to see myself getting more and more triggered. And I didn't understand, because I thought I was better. And I started to see myself get more and more triggered because I felt attacked. That's what it felt like I was being attacked in every direction. And, good things were also coming out of this. We have 2 boys. I conceived a girl. I'm pregnant now. We're actually going to be moving away from here. And bad things happened with my mom where I had to kind of push her out of my life, and that hurt. I felt hurt through that, but it actually turns out to be not a bad thing considering her state of mind and what she's imposing on me and my family. And so, the good came out of what seemed to be bad. But now I'm still suffering with, I feel all these feelings, and they're still there. I see how it's getting better, but I still have so much anger at times and so much sadness. Where I had a therapist, they told me I have a lot of anxiety and depression, severe depression. And that, because I'm pregnant, my hormones, are triggering this. And I'm having all these things, and I see myself hurting my family, not really hurting them, but physically, but I see how I'm hurting them. And I don't want to hurt anybody anymore. I don't want, it's triggering another emotion. I don't want to be this way. And I'm not changing overnight. I see it sometimes and then it fades, if that makes any sense. I feel like sometimes I think maybe I should walk away. There's a couple of times I know I probably hurt my husband because I said, maybe you should just keep the kids. Now I'm thinking, maybe you should just keep them and I should leave. And I mean that. It's not for him to chase me or anything.
And your question for me is what?
How do I overcome this?
You don't want to hurt no more?
Right.
I don't
want
want to hurt no more.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
It's time for moving on. Oh, baby, no. I don't want to hurt no more. Too much talking, baby. Who is this person that's feeling this way and all this is happening? Who is the person that this is happening to?
It feels like it's happening to me.
But who is it in reality? I
Nobody?
don't want to fight. What?
I don't know. It's not really happening.
Who is it that is happening to?
It feels like me.
But in reality, who is it?
It's happening to... Oh, maybe the bad side of me?
So you have a good side and a bad side?
Yeah, I think so. I think we all do.
So you're divided.
Kind of. Right. I'm very divided right now. That's what it feels like. Like I'm on some type of a fence of understanding and getting better, and then just 100 times worse.
How will you ever become whole if you don't let this happen so you can see that you're divided? How would you become one?
Okay. How would I become one? If I don't let this happen? Oh, instead of running away. Maybe. Because I was thinking of running away from...
Running away?
And it sounds terrible.
Running away where? To where? Wherever you run to, you're going to be there.
Yeah, but I didn't want to bring anybody along in my hell.
No, you still bring somebody along. You're bringing you along. And then you go somewhere else. You're going to be around people, and you're going to bring the hell to them as well. That's the job of hell, is to spread it.
That's why I said maybe. There was times I said silly things.
Do you want to feel the way you're feeling?
No, I really don't. I don't, because it's hurting other people.
Would you ever bring this upon yourself?
No.
Then why are you taking credit for it then? You know that you would never do this to yourself. You don't want to feel this way. Why do you think it's you making you feel this way?
You're right. I think it's not.
That was a question. That's not a you right. That was a question. Why do you think it's you when you know that you would never do this to yourself?
Yeah, it just feels like that at times. So it makes you believe. It makes me believe that it's me, but it really isn't me. I wouldn't do this to myself. At the same time, I can't stop it. I can't stop it.
That's right. And so you're not making it happen to yourself, and you can't stop it, yet you think it's you.
Right. But even if I know it's not me, I can't stop it, and it's hurting. And through me, it's hurting my family.
How's it hurting your family?
Because I'm still angry. I get anger towards them.
You take it out on
I
them?
get triggered. Right. That's what I keep doing.
And why are you working on behalf of evil?
I don't know.
What do you think will happen if you quietly go through this and let this false self die from you? What do you think will happen if you quietly went through it?
I could try to do that.
No, the question was, what do you think will happen if you did it?
If I did that, it would be a lot better for my family.
And how about for you?
If I was able. And for me too, because they would be okay. I would still feel probably a lot of the anxiety and depression and anger.
Why are you putting these fancy names to cover up evil?
It's all right. It's anger.
But why are you using those fancy names to cover up evil?
Because the therapist so many years have drilled into me that, all that stuff.
But when will you dump the false ideas of the therapist? She or he doesn't know what they're talking about. Why you still believe the lie?
Yeah, I know.
No, that was a question.
I don't know why. I don't know. It's just there all the time. Those labels. Those labels, but they all mean the same thing. They're all.
But those labels are covered up evil. Which one is? Right. Which one you would rather feel? Which one you would rather see? To know that it's evil, or to think that it's depression?
Know that it's evil.
So why you let some dumb therapy tell you it's depression?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just figured evil causes anxiety and depression and,
No, evil causes evil. But the stupid people with the degrees put those titles on it. They call it something else. But it's evil. Did Christ or God ever call evil depression? Or did they call it evil?
Right, he calls it evil or bad thoughts, right? Evil thoughts, too, stuff like that.
And why are you, which are you going to do? Follow the way of the Father or follow the way of the world?
I want to follow the way of the Father.
Well, then you got to let go the way of the world.
Yeah, and I'm having a really bad time. The hardest thing, Jesse, has been trying to obey my husband. At first it was nice, and then all of a sudden, he's doing things that are silly, and I
he's doing things that you're judging.
Okay, but even if what if it is wrong? Well, he's allowed to be wrong.
It's wrong for you to judge wrong. It's enough to see it, but you don't need to have an opinion about it, and you also see what to do about it. But you have an opinion like you did with the bloody statue thing that man had in the yard.
Well, it has to be called out, I think, like with the statue. It has to be called out so it can change.
But you don't have to feel anything about it to do that. It's time to get over feelings, because feelings are of your father, the devil. Seeing it is of your father, God. Which one will you serve?
God, but what happens when you see it? If I'm supposed to obey my husband and I see something, I could say it. But if he's supposed to still do what he's going to do, right? And I'm supposed to follow?
If you see it without any opinion, you will see the action to take if you need to take action. You will see the right thing to do about it, and it wouldn't be based on your opinion or your emotional reaction to it. It's enough to see in life it's evil to overreact to life.
Right, because a lot of it's pride and ego, too, with certain things.
It's all pride and ego with you. That's why you're on the run right now.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I'm on the run.
And it's enough to recognize that you are having the pain in the body, and these thoughts are coming to you. But you got to relax in it so you can see it's not you, so you can stop giving it evil life in order to destroy you, go off on the children, go off on your husband. It got you doing its works for it by you overreacting to it.
Yeah. You know what it's like, Jesse? It's like when it just attacks, you get this quick thought out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden it's a feeling and then a reaction without any thought,
Yeah.
And it comes one after the other, so sometimes you don't even have time to, think.
Right, but it's only happening that way because you're not practicing being aware all the time. Even when you're even when you have the so-called good feeling, you have no pain. Good feelings is still pain. So even in
Oh, yeah, it
the
was a
good
setup.
feeling, you still need to practice being present, that you have these so-called good feelings. But the devil tell you, oh, you haven't had a thought today. You haven't had any pain. And he tell you, you're doing fine. You're like, you can see now. And as soon as you believe that, you fall.
Yeah, because it hypes you up. 5 times that happened this week where I was hyped up about a good thought that didn't turn out well. And then it just...
All thoughts
insane.
are all lies all the time about anything. Even the so-called good thoughts. You're free now, it says, but those are thoughts telling you that you're free. When you're truly free, there's no thinking about it at all. Zero thinking. You want a zero thinking life. But I recommend, are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
No, I have done it though, but I'm not doing it enough.
How you think you're going to be free if you're not practicing being aware?
Okay, I've been fearful of it, and I know I call it again anxiety, but it's not, it's evil. So evil's been making me fearful of doing the silent prayer, because the times that I did do it, it was good, and then all of a sudden, I was feeling a lot of that trembling and my heart pounding. I got nervous. I had a nightmare.
And so you keep calling the devil I, and you keep worshiping the devil. You're not ready yet, right, to overcome your hell.
Maybe that's why this is happening, because I could see a little bit, and then I...
Come back to your phone.
Huh?
If you can, you can hear. Come back to your phone. If you can, you can hear.
Yeah.
You're not ready to overcome your hell, because if you were ready, you would practice being aware. There would be nothing that would get in the way of that. But you're not ready, and you love complaining about not being ready. You get the thrill of it. If you're ready, you'll be doing it. You'll be relaxing and let the source that can destroy evil, the light, you'll let that take over and fight your battle for you. But you're not ready yet. You're not even doing the silent prayer every morning and night. Are you bringing your mind back to your body?
Right, no, it's always somewhere. I guess a lot of the time.
Maria, how are you expecting to overcome hell if you're unwilling to fight?
Yeah, I don't know what's making me afraid of the silent prayer. I really don't.
It's your father, the devil. The last thing your father, the devil, want you to do is to be still and don't react. He doesn't want you to depart from you. And he knows that if you ever really, truly got serious about being still and allowing the light to fight for you, because you can't do it yourself, he has to depart from you. He knows that, and you're obeying him.
Okay, it's true. You know what? Because a lot of these crazy thoughts came into my head, like it's always meditation, and people have.
Have you ever heard me mention meditation at all? I said observe. No. I don't tell you to meditate.
Right.
But you're worshiping your father and you're loving it, the devil. And I just feel so bad. I hurt my children. And my mother is gone, but she's bad, but that's a bad thing, good thing. You love it. Because you didn't love it, you will work on you by getting up every morning, being still so you can watch what's going on. During the day, you would take a moment.
But if I'm in pain, why do people love pain? I'm in pain.
Why do you?
In pain.
Because it feels good to complain about it. It feels alive. It feels good to go to the therapist, and the therapist tell you, "Oh, you're pregnant. It's meditation. I mean, it's depression. You're loving it."
No, I don't like that. I haven't even spoken with that.
If you didn't like it, you would do the silent prayer, let the Father of Light take over.
So then it's that other part of me that likes it.
No, you like it too, but you like that other part of you. You're worshiping it, so you like it.
I don't know. Okay. This is terrible. So that makes me a very bad, evil person. If I can like this and like hurting my children, that's evil.
But if it's not you, why do you take credit for it? It's evil. Why you said I don't like it? You don't clearly see that something else made a home in you, and it makes
something's definitely driving me. But you said I like it. You said.
Yeah, because if you didn't, you would be still and overcome it.
Oh, maybe I'm used to it. Maybe it's a comfort zone. Could have said that happened to people where you're just used to something and you're afraid of the unknown, I guess. But that's not having true faith in God. So
you're loving the thrill of it. You love the thrill of it. When you stop loving your thrills, then you'll be over it.
I like the up and down, the feeling.
Yep. And I don't obey my husband, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I do. I have now. I just haven't, it's just been hard.
But let me tell you this because I got to run.
Okay.
Whenever you get serious about overcoming evil, I recommend you do the silent prayer and watch those thoughts. And it's enough to see that your body you're feeling the ego pain in the body, but know that it's not you and allow it to pass through, let the thoughts pass through. And eventually you're going to have a clear mind, you'll be free. But until you're ready for that, just whine and suffer and blah, blah, blah.
What if the silent prayer makes me, what if I wake up and I wind up losing, like, my husband or something?
What?
I don't know. Like, like,
what'd you just
what
say?
What if he doesn't wake up, like my husband? Say I wake up and he stays where he's at because he's not working on himself.
But why would a person who is asleep make that kind of statement?
Oh, I shouldn't say that because I'm asleep.
Is that happen? Why are you living in the future, Satan?
Right. Okay, it's not the present. Present's with God.
Why are you in the future, devil?
Right. I couldn't possibly know that. That's an evil statement.
Why are you in the future, devil? Something that's not happening. You're not even awake yet yourself. And you're talking about what if? You're divided. There is no if. There's only now.
I hear you. Okay, Jesse. Thank you.
Thank me for what?
For your show and for talking about the silent prayer and me finding
Speak up for me.
All of this. Just thank you for everything you've done. The show, from what I learned.
When will you be all in?
I guess I could do it now. I could start now.
What?
I could start now. I thought I started. I thought I was healed.
And all thoughts are all lies all the time. A person that's healed doesn't have to think that they're healed, because a person that heals, the pain, there's no pain, there's nothing to think about. When your body healed from a cut, a wound, do you think about the wound anymore?
No.
So why are you thinking that you're healed? What the?
That's true. Okay, Jesse.
Call me again. I gotta run, all right?
Okay.
Okay.
God bless. Have a good day.
You too. Amazing. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats, folks. Quick break. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Seven five 773 888-77-JESSE. Super chat. Super chats. Amazing.
Hake.
Hake. How come you got your pot t-shirt on?
I don't own a pot t-shirt.
Yeah, look like a pot leaf.
Only to a corrupt mind. This is a 4-leaf clover. It's
that's what they say about a pot too, a 4-leaf clover.
No, that's.
You have to say
I
it
think
in
you're
the,
lying.
You have to say it in the Irish accent, Hake.
It's a 4-leaf clover. I forget what it is. It's Rip Curl.
Who?
Rip Curl.
That's the name of the new pot.
No, it's the name of the brand of the T-shirt.
Oh. Anyway, super chat
from Cash App, cash.app/$Bond JLP. SOB, State of Being, Wiggly, says, thanks for helping my mind. Nice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Absolutely.
Chalice gave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 super chats over the Cash App super chats over the past several days, saying, thank you, thanks for all you do, and sometimes no comments. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
stay
you,
present, stay present, stay present. It's amazing. Okay.
Julian gave a donation, a generous donation on Cash App for changing my life, he says.
Right on. Thank you, Julian.
Bless Serene gave a super chat last week. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, no, maybe that was today. Not even sure.
Bless Serene. I like that. Bless Serene.
Yeah, it's a nice name.
Yeah.
Sounds black. Adrian Dargan.
Sounds black. What now?
Adrian gave a donation, a generous donation, saying, the more I give, the more I receive.
It's like the more I give, the more I receive.
Matthew gave a couple.
Thank you.
Matthew gave a couple on Cash App as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
No message. Adler says, amazing. Thank you to the entire crew. Appreciate that, Adler.
And thank you, Adler, for your support as well. Appreciate it.
Nangiti bought a coffee. Women's Forum was incredible yesterday. Jesse, thank you. Question: how do I get in touch to do some volunteering for the organization? Bond. Thank you, crew. Heart.
I have to agree with you that last night Women's Forum was amazing. I didn't leave there until about 9:30 or so, folks, because it was going on. It was just so interesting. I didn't really want to cut it off, right? But it was it was a blessing. So thank you. And for those who don't know, the Women's Forum is every third Thursday night of the month. Men every first Thursday night. and Sunday morning for everybody. Go to rebuildingtheman.com and give us your contact information for volunteers. And when something come up, we'll definitely let you know. Thank you for that.
Over on over on Rumble, Being Enlightened Till I Rise says, Happy Friday, all. A monthly supporter. Thank you, Being Enlightened Till I Rise.
Thank you. For the ones that want to volunteer, when you do fill out the little area there that you would like to volunteer, indicate what you would like to do, what you're kind of best at. So when something comes up, we could go right there and say, oh, this person want to do help in that area. So put just a little information about what you would like to do in the volunteering area. Thank you.
Gregory bought 5 coffees. John Adams, the second president, a young colonial lawyer, defended and represented many enemy British soldiers at the Boston Massacre. We must defend the principle of our God-given rights. Keep the Satan decorations up. As long as you don't poke fun at the Jews, you're fine, he says.
What the? Thank you.
Mr. J bought a coffee. Sandy and I want to give a shout out to JLP, Hake, Sean, Ankle Baby, and Sandy's favorite, Dude Hassan. Y'all have a good weekend, fellas. Love you all.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate it. Amazing.
Gregory bought 3 more coffees. Evil is evil. The people getting angry at this decoration are more evil than the decoration. Jesse, you helped me see that. Such an important point.
Thank you. But I want people to wake up. I want to encourage people to wake up. And just think about this. You're overreacting to what somebody else is doing. Has to tell you or should tell you something wrong with you. Why are you overreacting to what other people say, think, or what they do? It has nothing to do with you. It's enough to just see it. You want the whole picture. When you see what's going on, then if there's action to take, you will take the right action with the right spirit. You don't have to overreact to things in order to take action if you need to. So whenever you overreact to something, you need to see what's going on inside of you. Why am I feeling this way? Why does this bother me? Why do I have an opinion about it? It has nothing to do with you. It's not your world. Unless you make it your world and you're making somebody else hell your hell. You got your own hell to overcome. It's enough to see it. You ain't got to feel it. What the feeling is the way of the world. Seeing it is the way of the Father. But the world is so connected, meaning people with feelings, they think they got to feel everything. You're worshiping the devil. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tabor bought a coffee. My dog is upset that I don't identify with her anymore. She pooped on my floor. What the?
That's what happened when you let the dogs out. Amazing. Thank you.
Troy bought 15 coffees. Thank you, Mr. Peterson, and your whole staff for the work you're doing. I'm doing the silent prayer like you said and working on myself.
Thank you. Can you imagine really nice lady Maria? I know her now. She called and she got all these things going on inside of her. And she knows the key to it is to be still to overcome. But she want to do this other prayer. I can't help you. No human being, no money, no place, nothing physical or anyone physical can help you with that. It's a spiritual thing. I'm trying to point you to the source to be still and know and let him take over. But most people won't do it. You doing the prayer? No. My dog jumped out the window and I overreacted. Are you doing the prayer? No. What the? What are you expecting to get if you're not doing it? It's a spiritual battle. Evil is spiritual. Good is spiritual. Evil is weak. Good is strong, which is God. Why don't you go to the source that can help you? I'm pointing the way to that source that I had to go to and everyone that wants to overcome. Thank you. Anyway.
Punchy with a Y, not to be confused with Punchy with IE, bought you a coffee. This Friday, I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. What the?
I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. I pray to a God that I don't believe in. But I say, I do believe in. Amazing. Thank you.
Being enlightened till I rise bought 5 coffees. Good morning, gentlemen. Was just watching the show while running away from the cops trying to take my fentanyl. Biblical question answer.
That is funny. Why do you judge other people's strength against your weakness?
When I realized my strengths and weaknesses is just me believing in thoughts when in reality they don't exist. What is strength and what is weakness but a false idea, expectation brought on by the devil? So me imposing judgment on other people for their perceived strength versus my own weakness is just idol worship. Sorry for the long super. This question had me seeing a lot. Thanks for these questions, Jesse. They truly help, especially when there's a difference between our answers, which is always laughing face emoji with tears coming out.
Thank you. And I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday.
Delighted to be here. Bought you a coffee. Hi, Jesse Lee. I'm new to your show and I find it amazing.
Amazing.
I have a question. What is silent prayer and will this help me untangle myself from evil? Stay blessed.
Silent prayer is when you be still and allow the Spirit of the Father God to take over. This is you. These are your thoughts. And all thoughts are all lies all the time. You're supposed to bring them into captivity, meaning that He'll bring you out of them and you'll observe them, which is the light observing the darkness, and the light will destroy the darkness and give you a clear mind. Be still and know God. Let go. Be all in by letting go. And let the will of the Father be done. Amazing. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That handyman.
And by the way, go to rebuildingaman.com/prayer or silentprayer.video. rebuildingaman.com/prayer or silentprayer.video.
That handyman gave a Rumble rant. If I could move to LA, I'd come to work for you for free, JLP. If women stopped wearing makeup, getting fake butts and faces, the devil in them would disappear. Fake rears and fake faces, the devil in them would disappear.
Amazing. Thank you. If I can turn back time, if I can find a way, I'll take back all I said, and you'll stay. If I can turn back time, if I can find a way.
Is that before or after she left Sonny?
I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to make you cry. Can you imagine a woman said, I didn't mean to make you cry to a man? I didn't mean to hurt you to a man. What the?
What the?
Maybe it was to her daughter.
All
right.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, thank you.
Canadian David said, someone in chat about to name their new strain, as in China virus strain, Rip Curl.
Amazing. Stop there.
Okie dokie.
And we'll come back to that. Thank you, folks. I want to get you some calls here. And then we'll come back and finish that and the new ones too. Thank you so much. Let me go to Josh out of Georgia. Georgia, on my mind. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Josh. How you?
I'm doing fine, man.
Good.
Doing fine.
Amazing.
I was calling to answer the biblical question.
Why do you judge other people's strength against your weakness?
It's like an illusion that it's me doing the judging, and it just feels like it's me doing that, but it's like more like a knee-jerk reaction.
So you're doing it because it's a knee-jerk reaction?
It's not me doing it. It just feels like I'm doing it. and yeah, it's kind of like with that last call with Maria. You said it's not. I can't stop it, and I can't. It's another thing. Like she can't. She don't make it happen, and she can't stop it. So, but it's like, I get mad when somebody is strong and I'm being weak, I get mad at that person as being strong.
And what is being strong?
Well, yeah. Okay, if I'm, well, here's an example. If I'm drinking and smoking, I would want the person sitting next to me to drink and smoke with me too.
And why?
If he don't do it, I would get mad at him. You know, I see that.
And why would you want them to do it too?
It's not me that would want it. It's the demon in me that tricks me into wanting.
Why?
Wanting them. You know, he wants company. You know.
You wouldn't be able to sit there, drink and smoke by yourself?
Sometimes I can, but
I mean, if somebody else is sitting there with you and you're drinking and smoking, you wouldn't be able to do it if they didn't do it with you?
Sometimes.
Amazing.
But yeah, sometimes, you know, it's like when you caught up in, I don't know, I guess you're unconscious. When I'm unconscious, it just seems like it hurts for them not, or it's not even drinking or smoking. It could be just eating unhealthy, eating something bad for you, and they order a salad and you order ice cream and cake.
Amazing.
You know? Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you responding to that. Josh, I put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Very interesting, man.
Yes, sir. Sounds good, man.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you, man.
Very interesting. 888-7753-773. Simba, I believe. Simba out of California. You're on the air.
Hello?
Hey, Simba, you're on the air.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Peterson.
Good morning.
So I just have 2 questions.
Yeah.
One regarding the silent prayer, and then one regarding a situation that happened at work.
Okay.
So I'm going to save the silent prayer for later, and I'll just make the work situation, long story short. So there's this lady at work. She has, bad history with me for some, weird reason. And she always got something to say, right? So I was coming back from lunch today, and I saw her, and I was like, oh, here we go again, right? She was talking to my manager, and I walked by her, and she's like, oh, you can't be on your phone, right? So I'm like, okay. And then I turn around, and as I'm turning around, I see 10 people on their phone just doing exactly what I was doing, right? And I was like, a thought came into my head, and I was like, is she going to say that to all of them as well? Because she's always just singling me out, right? And it's kind of irritating because anytime I see her, she always got something to say. So I kind of just went back to my workplace, and then I noticed that I started getting thoughts about, oh, I should have done this, or I should have did this, or I should have did that, da-da-da-da-da. And I started to get angry, and then I was like, whoa, I have to calm down. What am I doing? And then I went to the bathroom, and then I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, all right, bro, it's kind of getting annoying. You need to let it go. And as soon as I said that, the anger just went away. And I was like, oh, it's whatever now. So my question to you is, should I have spoken up at that time or just, let it be how I did it?
Is this woman your manager or anything?
No, she's a security person, and, she thinks she has authority, but she's just, kind of annoying, to be honest.
And so when you walked past and you were on your phone, and what do you believe would have happened had you just stayed on your phone but went on about your way?
She probably would have wrote me up and would have been like, oh, you're not listening to me, da-da-da-da-da. And, I probably would have gotten a citation or something.
Have you talked to your manager about this person?
No, I have not.
Okay. Here's what I recommend you do. If this should happen again, when you walk past, just notice how you're feeling about it. And if you feel anything at all, so-called good or bad about it, be glad to see that. And just go your way. And one day, and don't judge this woman, and don't believe anything the thoughts and feelings are telling you about it. Eventually, you'll walk past her and not feel one thing. You'll understand. You'll be able to see. Because if you didn't have these feelings inside of you, you wouldn't be feeling anything about it. So it's giving you an opportunity to understand what's going on, and understanding will cause you to overcome it, whatever feelings you are having about it. So don't make it a big deal at all. It's just another opportunity for you to overcome the not you.
Yeah, okay, because that's kind of what I realized, too, when I was just looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, it's really not that deep.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. It's nothing but the spirit of the thoughts want you to think that it is so that you will overreact to it.
Yeah, and it's, it's always crazy because you say that once you let go, like, you don't even have to do anything about it. It just goes away by itself, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And it was always very difficult for me to do that because I was, like, still trying to put up an effort to not let go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But today I was just so annoyed. I was like, oh, whatever. And then they just vanished. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, just watch it and do nothing about it, and it will, the spirit of the Father would take away that, and you'll be fine from it, and you'll be able to walk through any situation and not feel one thing about it. Even if you were in a crowd of 1,000 and the thousands were against you, it wouldn't bother you at all, because your world will have perfect peace. Their world will have confusion and anger and judgment and revengeful and whatever, right? But you will be fine. So allow this to happen, because you're not making the situation happen. It's happening on its own. But allow it to happen so you can see what you're feeling. And don't make a big deal. You'll see that all thoughts are all lies, and you'll be just fine.
Right. It's like very liberating.
Yeah.
And then the second question I have is, so whenever I'm doing the silent prayer, I'll set a timer for 30 minutes, and I'll just, like, lay down, like, face down on my bed, and then I'll just, like, let go and just try to watch my thoughts. And a certain point comes where I kind of let go for, like, a quick half second or maybe 2-3 seconds, where I fully let go, and then there's no more thoughts. And this feeling just overwhelms me. And I know you say not to trust your feelings, but this is not a feeling that comes from thoughts, because there's no thoughts present when I'm experiencing. So, I mean, can you speak a little bit more about this?
Can you hold for a minute?
Yeah.
Now, let me take a break, and then I come back, I'll finish that, and the rest of your calls, 888-775-3773. One more hour to go. There is one line open. We're going to move call faster when I come back, all right? I know y'all want to get in there. Hake is coming in with the hate news. Not the fake news, but the Hake news. And I'll be back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, He will fight the battle for you. And He will fight it without, because He will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, He will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before Him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
The Navajos want so-called same-sex marriage like a quote-unquote America. So sick. Not all of them, just a few. And India is getting a woman quota in their government. And Sophie Turner, whoever that is trying to steal Joe Jonas's 2 daughters and take them to England. Kidnap them. No, I don't know. And by the way, national park fees are waived tomorrow, Saturday, for some holiday, I guess. So-called holiday. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Friday, September 22nd, 2023 AD. The lines are full, everybody. It is Express Yourself Friday. JLP will be right back to your calls. Hang tight for just a few minutes here. It's Hake news, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report. And then after that, at noon Pacific time today, the Fallen State. The Fallen State. Check it out. And of course, American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Fridays. That is 2 Central. No. 6 Central. 7 Eastern. All right. American Anchor Baby on YouTube and Rumble. And of course, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Sunday. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. They're corrupting the Navajos. Same-sex marriage is banned in the Navajo Nation, I will have you know. That could change soon, though. So-called LGBTQ couples live in the United States but can't get, quote-unquote, married. They can, but just not to each other. Because that's not what a marriage is. Many Navajos and radicals hope so-called marriage equality, no such thing, could be on the horizon. Everyone's being corrupted. It's a shame. India is turning corrupt, too. Quote, with the passing of this bill, the representation of women power will be strengthened and a new era of their empowerment will begin. So said India Prime Minister Narendra Modi after the country's parliament passed a landmark bill on yesterday, that will reserve a third of its seats in the parliament in the lower house and state assemblies for women. And in India, women make up nearly half of the country's 950 million registered voters. Wow, nearly 1 billion. But only 15% of lawmakers in parliament and 10% in state assemblies. I'm shaking my head. Another woman stealing a child, 27-year-old English actress Sophie Turner, yesterday sued her soon-to-be ex-husband, 34-year-old American singer-songwriter Joe Jonas of Jonas Brothers, to return his 2 daughters to England. She alleges he's holding on to the girls' passports and she said that there were already plans in place to move his daughters to England. A representative for Joe Jonas has called Sophie Turner's allegations misleading and designed to move divorce proceedings to the evil UK away from evil US. They also said the divorce proceedings are happening in Florida. Relocating the kids, as in children, would violate a court order. U.S. national parks are free, according to The Hill, on tomorrow, Saturday, the 22nd of September in America, so-called America. One of 5 days the National Park Service is waiving admission fees for 2023, which are relatively low anyway. January 16th was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, that fake holiday. April 22nd, National Park Week, the first day. August 4th, Great American Outdoors Act anniversary, whatever that is, sounds evil. And September 23rd, National Public Lands Day, public lands. And November 11th in honor of Veterans Day. What a mess. Medical bills can't count against your credit score. Talk about subversion. The Biden administration has unveiled new proposals, according to the Skim, I think, or the CNN, I think, to remove medical bills from credit reports. White House officials, black on the inside, on Thursday said they were pursuing the effort to lessen Americans' medical debt burden as millions of Americans contend with the higher cost of living and historic inflation. So they're doing giveaways, right? Because they can't run the economy right. They're running it into the ground. Medical debt has lowered people's credit scores, which affects their ability to buy a home, get a mortgage, own a small business. If they have to borrow money to do that, they don't. Vice President cackling Kamala Harris said in a call with reporters announcing that initiative, if the rule is finalized, consumer credit companies would be barred from including medical debt and collection information on reports to creditors to underwrite decisions. What a mess. That's just stupid. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP.
Got to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week: why do you judge other people's strength against your weakness? Why do you judge other people's strength against your weakness? Amazing question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. You can also listen to the show anywhere in the world. You can podcast, you can listen live, or if you're busy or you're just relaxing on the beach or whatever, you can listen on your iPhone or iPad. You can podcast by calling 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk on Twitter and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. JLP Talk on Twitter and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. You can support us by donating to Bond JLP Cash App on Cash App there. And if you to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And you can also support us and donate by going to rebuildingtheman.com/donate. It's Friday, the last hour of the show for today. It is Express Yourself Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a great alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Envision human figures living in an underground cave and a low wall built along the way like the screen which puppet players have in front of them, over which they show the
images.
And just let them pour in, let everybody pour in. And then the answer, which is, well, then there will be all these problems. Yes, there should be.
American public welfare system is only expending half.
Violently assaulted for no reason. She even called out, "I'm not fighting you," letting them take the cash and the merchandise
of what it should be expending if it were reaching all of the people who are eligible under existing statutes.
Hitting and kicking her over 24 times.
City Council is advancing a bid to remove statues of controversial historical figures.
Yeah, this would include figures such as George Washington, who knew he was controversial.
To them, the truth would be literally nothing but the shadows of the images. And now look again and see what will naturally follow if one of the prisoners is released. Approaching nearer to reality and his eyes turned toward more real existence, he has a clearer vision. And if anyone tried to release another, and lead him up to the light. Let them only catch the offender, and they would put him to death.
Wow. You leave that plantation. You leave those thoughts and imagination. You become an enemy. Let me go quickly to Simba. Back to Simba. And Simba, restate the last part of your question.
Yeah, so I'm going to just make it quick because I know there's other people waiting. But pretty much when I'm in this stillness and I completely let go for like a couple of seconds, I notice there's this feeling of just something, and it overwhelms my whole body. And I guess you could say it's like an emptiness, but it's not really empty because it's very fulfilling. Like it literally, I can feel it in my whole body. And it's weird because after this, when I'm done doing the prayer, I notice myself getting more angry over small things like, oh, my door's open, or oh, this, oh, that.
And your question is what?
So I was just going to ask you, could you comment? Ask if you could comment on this.
What it is, in those quiet moments, you're having those moments of heaven on earth, of perfect peace. And be grateful for those moments, because if you continue to do the silent prayer and watch, you have more and more moments of that. And there are more moments of that. And after a while, it'll be life itself. And all the conflict and the pain and the worries and the voice of evil and all that will be gone. And you will have a clear mind and you will be at peace.
Wow. And one last thing. When I first heard about this whole idea that you're not your thoughts 3 years ago, I really got into this. I know you don't like to call it meditation, but that's what I knew it back then as. And I noticed that I just stopped talking to people. And now that I got back into it, again, I'm noticing the same thing. So is there something wrong with me, or am I just going crazy?
You say you stopped talking to people?
Yeah, like, I'll still talk to them, right? Like, I'm not, like, a douchebag. Like, I still say hello, whatever, but I just don't feel the need to talk to anybody.
Absolutely, because what you realize is all that talking is about nothing anyway. It's just empty talk. And most people talk just to get a thrill of talking, and they want to make you think that they know what they're talking about, so they get another thrill. But it's just empty talk. And so the real you is not interested in empty talk. If you do talk, you want the real deal that brings life and not death. So that's natural, and that's what another aspect of overcoming the world. And when you overcome thoughts and emotions, you overcome the world, and you find that you spend less money, there's less to do. You could be a part of the party or not be invited to the party. It doesn't matter. The things that you thought were so important is no longer important. So let that happen naturally, and don't let the devil tell you something is wrong with you. It's not. Something is made right with you, and you'll find yourself living in the world but not of it.
Wow. I mean, wow, that just like gives me confirmation then.
Yeah. So you're on the straight and narrow now, and the spirit of evil is trying to make you look to the left, to the right, and all look back or look ahead. Don't do it. You just stay present and let it happen. You'll be fine. Wow. Did you say you do the prayer with your face down?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like comfortable for me. You know what I mean? Like I just lay on my bed and then I'll just put my palms, or like my face in my palms, and then I'll just like go on about it.
Oh, okay. Do what you want with it. If it's working, it's working. But I recommend you lay. If you're not sitting up, and you just got to be laying down, I would lay on my back with my palms up, of course, to the side, and because heaven is above, hell is below, and you want to be facing toward heaven, so you can welcome the truth down into you. But
so that's why you. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because in the video, you also had your palms up.
Yeah, because heaven is above.
Wow. Okay, I mean, I'll try like how you said it.
All right. Call me again, Simba. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And whenever you feel something, someone says something to you or acting a certain way around you or whatever, if you're feeling something about it, it's something wrong inside of you. It has nothing to do with them ever. They got their own issues going on inside of them, but yours is with you, and you watch it and just watch it, and it'll disappear. Be glad to see it. Don't be mad at them for bringing it out.
Wow. I mean, I'm just glad for God showing me your channel because you make it so easy. You give the best description. Like, it's like a clear-cut direction. And I'm just grateful that I found your words because they really helped.
Well, stay with it, and it's the light. And I know what you mean, so I appreciate that. But it's the light of the Father coming through me, through you, to guide you. I bring the message, He bring the light, and you'll be fine. That's what's happening, and it's good that you see it because that's going to encourage you to stay with it and never give up.
Right, you're just a finger pointing at the moon.
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you, buddy. I got to run. Amazing call. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Amazing. See, there are some people waking up spiritually and not just intellectually. One line open, 888-775-3773. A first-time caller out of Louisiana, Adrian, out of Louisiana. Adrian, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. I wanted to talk about...
Adrian, hold on. Yeah. Something up with your phone. Let me let Sean help you. Do not hang up. You've been waiting a long time. And I'll come back to you. I just can't hear you. John out of North Carolina. Let's see here. John, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing today, Justin?
All is well, John.
Hey, I was calling, man, to get your advice on something, or I guess get your intake on something. I've been watching your show for some years now, and I mean, I always kind of been this person, but it kind of like, you know, kind of, I guess, gave me confirmation when I heard you, like, say it when I first started watching you. But basically, so long story short, my wife feels like I'm disconnected from the marriage because I don't walk around emotional, and, you know, I don't, I guess she wants me to, like, tell her more, like, I love you, and just, like, be more, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know the word for it, but I guess the word I'm thinking is more emotional. But I kind of, like, show my love, you know what I mean? Like, I take care of my family, and I go to work every day. I provide. Like, she doesn't have to pay no bills. She doesn't have to really worry about anything in life. But, you know, she chooses to work, but she don't necessarily have to work because I pay all the bills. She does take care of the house and stuff, but, you know, I kind of, that's how I show my love, by, like, just, you know, playing my role as a man, but she wants me to be, like, more, you know, because it may be days I may be tired. I might just come home and just relax. I may not be talking and stuff, and I'm just a quiet person by nature anyway, but she feels like I'm disconnected from the marriage because I'm like that.
And your question for me is what?
I guess my question is: do you feel like that's a disconnection, or is that just like, you know what I'm saying? Is that me doing what I'm supposed to do?
Based on the information you're giving me, your wife is saying that you're not letting me control you. You're not worshiping me. You're not serving the devil with me. I need you to come back into hell with me. Why do you think you're going to escape hell when I'm still in hell? Rather than saying to you, I would like to come out of the hell that I'm in. How are you overcoming emotion? Because you're supposed to help her, since you're the husband and you're the head of your wife, you're supposed to help bring her out of the hell and not let her pull you back into the hell. That's what mamas do. They pull their children back into hell with them. And if you try to get away, they'll go after you. They'll build an armor against you, because not one is allowed to escape hell and try to go free, they would turn on you. Because emotions are hell, is evil. And she can't, that hell in her, she can't stand that you're not feeding into it too. It's like, what the?
Yeah. And so basically, so you feel like I'm doing the right thing, right? Because you know, we kind of had like a little bump in the road here lately. Everything was good, you know. I mean, overall, I'm great, you know what I mean. But we just had a little bump in the road. I was like, I figured I'd call you, get your intake. But she said something that bothered me. And things don't really bother me much. You know what I mean? It didn't. I ain't gonna say it bothered me, but it made me feel some type of way. And she was just like, because basically, like I'm just quiet. You know what I mean? A lot of times, especially like nowadays, like the older I get, the more quieter I get. I don't really be wanting to talk to people a lot, and I just kind of, you know, just be around. You know, I hang out with the kids and stuff, but I'm quiet for the most part. You know what I'm saying? I talk when there's a need to, but
right.
Yeah, she feel like I'm disconnected, and she was just like, if you feel like you want to see other people, then let me know or something like that. And I was just like, how's me? You know, I didn't understand how me just, you know, I didn't understand that too much. You know what I mean? I don't know if she was just trying to get her. I don't know if she. Go ahead.
No, finish your point.
Oh, I was saying, at first I was thinking maybe she was just trying to get a reaction out of me, because at first when she was like arguing and stuff and going off, I wasn't like reacting to it. I just was like, all right, well, I hope you have a better day. Like, you know, I don't know why you're acting like this, but you know what I mean? I just wasn't reacting to it. I was like, maybe that was just a way for her to try to get me to react or something. You know what I mean?
It is. That's exactly what the hell in her trying to do, is to get a reaction from you so that it can feel good and still draw you back into her hell. And so she'll say nice things to you oh, I love you, but you never wish at me. She's not going to say wish, but you don't care about my feelings.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work, then she'll say something bad to you like that, to do something to get a reaction. And the moment you react to it, you give her a sigh of relief, because she knows that that thing is not her, but that hell in her knows that it has control over you because you have overreacted.
Yeah.
It's all about bringing you back into hell. And the spirit of hell is controlling her through thoughts and emotions, because when you're not making her feel so-called good, she's having a lot of conflict. And the only reason only way that the conflict gonna settle down for a minute, because she's not getting over it like that, is to get life from you by getting a reaction. It's a false life, but she called it life. That's why she said that to you.
And what do you think about because she feels like, because I'm like all for the, like everything I do is like 'cause we have 4 kids together, so everything I do is kind of based on the kid. So like if we take a trip, I'm always like, all right, what is there for the kids to do? I'm always thinking about like what's the best interest for the kids. But that's another thing why she feels like I'm disconnected, because she feels like, you know, like me and her should still like go on like personal dates and stuff like without the kids. But I never want to do anything without the kids. I kind of everything I want to do, I want to include the kids. But she's just like, well, we still need to have our time, you know, me and like husband and wife time. And I'm like, you know, but like the kids are like a part of us now, you know what I mean? But like once they get grown, like we'll have our time again, but this is like our time for the kids. That's how I feel. But like, what do you think about that?
Next time she says that, you know what? We already had our time. We made 4 children. we had our time making these babies. Mothers don't love their children. The father loves the children. The mothers don't love the children. And that's why they always want it's to be about them. They want that world, your world, the kids' world, everybody's world to rotate around them, because they're so insecure, because Satan is their daddy. and they want that. They have so much conflict and pain and hatred in their heart. They're trying to find something outwardly to make them feel better, and by you not rotating your world around her, it's bringing on hell for her. She's jealous of you with the children, and I would watch her because you're there for the kids. She's there for herself, and if you pay attention to the children but not to her, she's going to end up destroying your children, because the spirit, which is her father in her, the devil, would cause her to become jealous of the children and mad at the children and mad at you, and she'll turn your kids against you. She would become impatient with them. She would do everything she can to destroy your children because of her ego, which is of the devil, being hurt and not fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about her. Women do not love children. Mothers do not love children. They only have hatred in their hearts until they overcome that. And until your wife start working on herself, you need to watch your children.
Yeah, because I feel like what you're saying is true. Because every time like we have like a basically like this last, I don't like to say arguments, but it's basically an argument, but basically a speed bump in the road. She like she would always tell me how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd just be like, well, you can't tell me how I feel, but you can express to me how you feel, but she, everything with the argument is like, well, if you feel like you want to do this and do that, and you're not, you're disconnected from, and I'm just like, I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, she's telling me I'm unhappy and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not. I'm happy, like, but she's telling me I'm this and I'm that, but I'm not that. You know what I mean?
She's trying to get that spirit is trying to get a reaction from you. Is she? And what I would do, I would recommend do what you want, of course. I would recommend when she's carrying on like that, you just remind her, you know what? You need to overcome that anger. You need to overcome that hell in you. You're trying to get something from me that I don't have to give. I can't make you free. You need to start working on yourself. And this stupid idea, we need to go on a date thing with the children, without the children, that's evil. That's selfishness. That's what the world have taught her. And she tried to pass it on to you and your children. Don't fall for it. But tell her she need to overcome that anger, overcome evil. She need to forgive her mother. She need to return to her father. She need to do the silent prayer. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse, man. And it'll get so bad that she will start physically fighting with you. She would, and if any of your children look like you, they're going to catch the real hell, because that jealous spirit in her is not going to like that. The worst thing for children in a home with a mother is for the father to love their children and the children love the father. That spirit of the mother is not going to like that, and she will work overtime to destroy it. And it's not her, but it's the spirit of her God in her, the devil. And so I would have you talked to her about overcoming her anger, the anger?
I when I first started watching you, which was years ago, it probably was at least 5 years ago when I started watching you. I told her about it and everything, and she even forgave her mom, but she doesn't listen. Like, she doesn't listen to your show. So of course, I'm listening to it every day, so I'm hearing what I need to do and on a daily basis. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think it was more so she just went and did it because I said, I mentioned it, because I still see like her mom, like they have a terrible relationship. She has a terrible relationship with her mom.
Of course.
And I think it's affecting us. She doesn't see it. I see it. And, when I mention it, I could tell she really don't see it. And she thinks I don't like her mom. But what it is I'm seeing how it's affecting her relationship with her mom is affecting our marriage.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
I do.
Because she has such a bad, relationship with her mom that it's causing her to go through hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, absolutely. And the hell in her is trying to repeat the same cycle that happened to her and her family. The mother recreated the family to her image, Now she's trying to recreate your family in her image. And that evil spirit goes on from generation to generation because a lot of fathers don't see it like you do. They don't understand what's going on in this woman. They don't know why she's so out of control and emotional and carrying on because they don't understand that her mother passed that same hell on to her and recreated her in her image. And unless your wife is ready to overcome it, there's nothing you can do about it to make her overcome it, but point it out. And when she does get to you, and if she does, just notice what you're thinking and feeling. Just notice that, but don't let her know you're feeling that way. Because if you do, you're giving life to her. That thing in you that's overreacting is giving life to her, and they'll double team against you, and they'll try to destroy you. The spirit in you and that spirit in her. So if you do feel something, just notice it, but don't give into it. Know that it's not you, and don't give into the evil that's coming out of her. Just let her know, you know what, you got hell in you. You need to overcome the hell in you. I'm not coming back into your hell. It ain't going to happen, so you might well calm down and overcome it. And don't play the game with her at all because you're playing with evil.
Yeah, and she thinks that, because I've told her that, and anytime I mention her mom, and I'm like, your relationship with your mom is causing you to have a, bad relationship with me at times. Like when y'all, when y'all are going through it, when you and your mom are going through it, it kind of affects your mental state. You know what I mean?
It does.
But every time I say that, she's like, why do you just have this hate towards my mom? She thinks I'm talking bad about her mom, but I'm telling her that it's affecting us because her mom have a bad relationship.
You should ask her, why does she hate her mother so much? Have you ever asked her why she hate her mother so much?
Yeah, she'll just lie about it and just say, well, no, I love her. And I'm like, well, y'all don't love each other because y'all talk bad about each other, y'all argue, and y'all fight. It's not love.
Right.
But she'll just say that. She's just like, I don't hate my mom. I love my mom. And I'm just like, that's not love to me,
Well, you're dealing with pure evil in this woman, and you're fortunate in that you can see it. How old are your children?
My oldest is 9. I got a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old.
Well, let them know that don't be angry at mama. Don't get mad at her. When she impose her will on them and, impatience and all that. And to let you know if mama make them feel bad so you can correct her. And the kids will see it. And don't correct her in some private room somewhere. You do it with the kids there, and you stay patient. And the kids will see the love in you, and they will see the hate in the mother, and they will see that the father loved them, and that way you can keep them close to you spiritually.
Yeah, I've noticed that has helped my children a lot. I heard you say that on several occasions, even years ago, and I used to never do that because I used to feel like, dang, anytime me and my wife have a disagreement, I need to get away from the kids. But ever since I heard you say it, and I do it right in front of the kids, it's like I see the joy in their eyes. Like I could just look in my kids' eyes and just see it. I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
Because they see
know what I mean?
They see that the father loved them and they feel protected in the same way that you see that God love you. Your father God love you, and in Him, in His love, you're protected. Well, it's the same spirit that come through the father to the children and to the mother too. But the mother may not accept it because she's all rooted in hell, and she may not ever accept it, but it may take 50 years or so, and then you'll die. But at least you'll die with a smile on your face, knowing your children are fine.
Right.
And so, but just continue to do that. Be patient. Don't overreact. And the kids will see the love coming through you. And the mother, as I said, will not be able to turn them away from you. And your kids will grow up, and they will grow up in love, and the spirit of love in you will cause a whole new generation of love rather than hate. And that's what God is trying to do through human beings. He's trying to create love, but most human beings love hate so much. They love anger. It can't happen through them, but it can happen through you if you want it.
Okay.
So
that sounds good, man.
Yeah, don't get angry at her. Don't let her see you angry at all. If she makes you feel something, stay quiet about it. But deal with her with patience and honesty.
Okay.
All right. Amazing. Call me again, John. I got to run, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
You too, buddy. See, fathers, you are needed. You are the light of the world. Solve the earth. Back in a moment. After a while, that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business. But because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father. Because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So, thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Welcome back. 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. I'm typing a note here. I haven't gotten a response yet. Hold on. Okay. The Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. The HakeReport.com from 9 to 11 a.m. And at 12 noon today, at 12 noon, a brand new episode of The Fallen State. A very interesting discussion with Kevin Sabo and Marcus Green. And Kevin is the writer, director, and star in a YouTube series called The Adventures of Saberho. I'm in that movie too, by the way. I got a little part in there. I think you'll like it. The Adventure of Saberho. Marcus is a rapper and CEO of Teflon Entertainment. And he's also has a part in the movie as well. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Is Italian and white the same thing?
Italians are pretty much just the coolest white people. I seen my family get murdered in front of me, so
oh, nice.
Music was the way to escape that childhood rage and things like that.
Do you have children?
I got 7. They all got different mothers.
What a slut maker. What the? You believe there's such a thing as a good woman? Have you ever met one? The Great White Hope. Did you vote for him?
Oh, you know who I voted for? Who? These nuts.
What's wrong with the blacks?
A lot of my black friends aren't great about being on time.
Amazing. So check it out at 12 noon today. And remember, you can support The Fallen State at thefallenstate.tv there and locals.com. At 4 p.m., The American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. Flying high on life. Not fentanyl and not pot, but life itself. Real energy. Check them out. The American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. today. Church on Sunday for everybody and their mama. Last but not least, I do personalized shout-outs for you. Rebuildingtheman.com/church, by the way. Rebuildingtheman.com. I do personalized shout-outs for you. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Birthday shout-outs, wedding shout-outs, anniversaries, encouragement, whatever. Proposals. And by the way, shout out to Get a Job. Where's Get a Job now? I know he's not on YouTube anymore. Anybody know where he is? He's on Rumble. Get a Job is on Rumble. Check him out, rumble.com, all right? Get a Job 2 on Rumble, users. Get a Job 2 on Rumble. Shout out to Get a Job. He does amazing work. Let me go quickly to back to Adrian. I think Adrian, the first time call out of Louisiana, is ready now. Adrian, let's try it again.
Hey, Jesse, can you hear me?
Much better.
Okay, that's great. I was calling about the news clip you showed early in the show out from New Orleans with the guy with the Halloween decorations.
Oh, yes.
And
For those who didn't see it, you can podcast it. There's a guy in Louisiana that decorated his front yard, and he have images of Christ with his head cut off and the devil holding the head and all kind of bloody stuff. And some people don't like it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, I kind of resonate with the older gentleman that reported, where he said that, this was nothing unusual. People go over there, but it doesn't affect him. And he understands that, New Orleans is the city of the Big Easy. There's Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras lasts for at least 2 months. And people go out and dress up and wear all kinds of scary masks, and they throw beads and candy, but no one, and it'd be the same people who go out there and say, oh, this is bad, bad depiction, whatever, but they'll be out there getting drunk on Mardi Gras, or maybe mooning or showing themselves to get beat. Yeah. But I mean, they're enjoying themselves. But for me, I understand how you said it, is that some people, for him, it's his expression. And to me, it's an expression of anger that he has with himself and with God. But I forgive him, Yes. I understand. Yeah. But it doesn't react to me. And that's something that, when you talk about, I know Hake talked about how it was gross, but to me, it's not so much about the grotesqueness. To me, it shows the grotesqueness that's on the inside.
Yes.
That when you are not listening to the Father, he's telling you he's there. And every time he's there, he sees it and he just allows it. But the people, the believers, instead of being doers, instead of, forgiving the man and just going on about their lives, they just continue to get outrage over it. And so it's like you said, they're two devils fighting.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have Mardi Gras. We have parades here in Louisiana, literally every month. People go out in masks, throw beads and coins and candy. But, it's nothing unusual, but it's just that some people, they like to get, disingenuous and righteously indignant. I know, for me, when I would hear from my parents, kind of similar to yours, because we're out in the country. I live about maybe 2 hours west of New Orleans. And people will go out, say, to, their grandma or grandpappy's house, their mama or papa's house. They'll have some gumbo, make some popcorn balls. They'll fellowship with each other.
Yeah.
It would be a time for people to, just to meet up, maybe have a little gathering. They'll have one room for the kids, and then the other room would be for the grown-ups. But it was people would just always do that. It would be another day. It wouldn't be something that people would just, just get all, immersed into.
Right.
And so,
yep. That's amazing.
So, yes, sir. Like I said, it's. I don't know if they do Mardi Gras in Alabama, but I know one of the first Mardi Gras was in southern Alabama, the first one that was ever done, but it was out in the country, and so people would actually go out together. They would kind of go out, play music. They'll go chase some chickens. They'll take the chickens. They'll make a gumbo out of it. And so because it's gumbo weather. Usually around that time of the year, it's much colder, and people go, they have gumbo. Maybe they'll get some potato salad, eat with the gumbo. But it was a time for people to fellowship. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people, it's really got to turn the TV off, because if you actually just go outside and you realize that God has really blessed us here in this country, in spite of all the things that are going on. We can still go outside. We can still go and seek Him in silence, in solitude. And there's so much to be grateful for. But yet, the society at large focuses on the worst of its kind. And the more you focus on them, the more power you give to them. You become a slave to the grotesque, just as the person that is expressing it.
Amazing, man. Very mamma mia, good point. You're absolutely right. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunate, but there are people who love being slaves. That's why they overreact like that. They want a thrill. They want to be a slave. And then if anyone try to escape slavery, then you become the enemy because they want everyone else enslaved with them. But that's what it is, man. They just love it. They love the thrills they get from reacting and overreacting and judging and hurting and all that. It's all about the thrill of it.
Right. And I don't want to keep you too long, but I had something recently where it was my mom and I. We went and drove, like just this kind of like to relax by the lakefront. And it happened to be Juneteenth. I didn't even know it was Juneteenth, but there was all these blacks that were out there. Their kids were out there. Basically, they were pulling down the trees that were there, pulling down limbs, just acting all buck wild. The policemen, they were there. They just allowed to go. And just for one day, it's another day, but just for this, they were so immersed into this Juneteenth, even though, like I said, I'm in Louisiana, has nothing to do with, it's really a Texas thing. Yeah. And so even my mama and my grandma, my grandparents, they said, they didn't even recognize it. It was like, that doesn't connect. That's not our people. That's not us. That's whatever they do there in Texas. I mean, they didn't really, it was just something that people, they heard about it, but they never really made an issue out of it. But I remember watching this recently because they made it a national holiday. And instead of the blacks, being out there calm and civil, they're out there getting all, wild and woolly like they normally do when it's not Juneteenth.
But for me, the thrill of it.
Yes, sir. And while I was there, the thoughts was running through me like a train. And I just sat there and I just, I just enjoyed the calmness of the watching on the lakefront while all the other mess was going on. And then, it just made me realize that, like you said, all of this that happens outside of us doesn't have to happen inside of us.
Yes.
The only thing you have to do is just be still.
Beautiful, man. Amazing. And because you're living from your world and not their world, they're catching hell in their world, but in your world it's paradise. Stay with it, Adrian. And you haven't seen anything yet, man. It gets better and better. And it's nothing but love.
You sound like my grandpa. You sound like my grandpa. He would tell my mom the same thing. He would say, you know what? I may not be here today or tomorrow. All you have to do is just sit back and watch. You think you've seen everything? You haven't seen anything yet. You just sit back and watch.
That's right. Amazing, Grandpa. Tell me about the good old days. Thank you, man. Call me again. Amazing, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right, buddy. See, there are people waking up, a few, but most are not. Let me do this before I go back to the phones. My producer, Sean, is here, and he gave me a couple clips that he want me to react to. I haven't seen them yet. Am I right?
That's right.
And you want me to react to them?
Yeah, quick little thing. We can move through them.
It's Friday. Let's just get clip number 1 there from X.
Want to be honest, the most romantic thing somebody did for me, it was my first boyfriend. I was just in high school. He was a little older than me, and it was Valentine's Day. I'll never forget. He robbed somebody and gave me the money and gave me the bill he stole, and it was just so sweet because he was out of breath and stuff. He's like, here, I just got this for you. I was like, oh, so sweet. Thank you. Because nobody never did nothing like that for me. He stole from me, so I'm like, oh, you did that for me, really? And that's the first time somebody ever had got me a gift or tried to do something for me. But I was so, it was sweet.
Wow. So her boyfriend robbed somebody and gave the money to her, and she think that was sweet?
Right.
What a beta he was. Wow.
Beta thief. Yep.
That is insane.
Right. So she's like a rapper. She's a pretty well-known rapper, and her songs are like insanely, vulgar.
I bet.
Yeah.
She up there saying that was sweet.
Yeah, it's a nice romantic Valentine's Day
It's
story.
all about her and nothing about him.
Yeah, it's
she
sweet.
She doesn't care about him at all.
It's so. I wonder if the guy who got it stolen from thinks it's sweet. I probably not.
I doubt it.
He probably doesn't think it's too sweet.
He probably like, what? No.
Yeah. I would skip to
talk about making a woman his god.
Yeah, I'd go right to clip number 3 and skip clip number 2.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay, let's do number 3 there, Hassan.
Don't you snatch that from her. Don't do that again. Yeah, knock it down. Tear it up. Yep, and step on it. And Karen's just going to have to deal with it. The f***. Yep, knock all of it down. Good girl. Very good, Naoki. And grab it and tear it up. Oh, well. Tear it up again.
Wow. An evil mother teaching her daughter to be evil at that age.
Tear it up. Good job. And this whole Karen thing, Karen.
Right, they call white people Karen.
White females, it's Karen. Karen is the name for. White people use it too for white females, but it's not good.
That is pure evil. And then when that girl grow up, she's going to be a thug, ended up in prison. They're going to blame it on racism.
And the mom's going to say, I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
I just raised her.
It's racism.
Yeah.
Have you had the talk yet? Remember the mother teaching the children and the father?
They say,
black fathers.
You're going to have to try twice as hard. And when you get pulled over, they're going to treat you differently. And yeah, like I said, Gavin McInnes, he says the talk is child abuse. That's what it is.
It is. It's evil.
Yeah.
And then they blame it on the whites. And calling the little white girl Karen, and she's not even thinking about anything.
And cursing in front of the kids. What, she's 3, the other one's maybe 5, and she's using the F-bomb and cursing in front of the kids, teaching the kid to destroy.
There are 2 most evil places for children.
Yep.
In the mother's womb and being raised by a mother. Danger zones.
And like you say, sometimes it can happen in the womb while they're developing, because especially, I notice with a lot of guys, sometimes guys look like their mom.
Right.
They literally physically look more
like
their mom.
Rebuilt them in the room.
Yeah.
We made them in the room. Wow,
Yeah.
in the womb.
Wait till you see number 4 is good.
That is evil, folks. Now do you see that has nothing to do with racism? Zero. That little innocent black girl, the little innocent white girl, got this evil mother. I told you the devil is the god of the woman.
Right. That's what a lot of people say about the term white privilege and teaching kids white privilege. Are you really going to tell a 2-year-old white kid that he has something over a 2-year-old black, like immediately when they come out of the womb?
And that little black girl wouldn't have thought anything about it had not the mother did what she did.
Right.
She traumatized her daughter, right?
Yeah, she would have shared. She would have been fine.
And the little white girl would have too.
Yeah.
Here's clip 4. What a mess.
People get mad when I say this, but you could tell you out here with the white folks. Because everything is out. Ain't no niggas standing around begging, can I pump your gas? And they even got the snacks out. Look. You can get your snacks and get it yourself. You can't do that in the hood. They won't have that out in the hood. Look, oil and everything. Them niggas will steal this shit as soon as they put it out. It ain't about living white. It's about living right.
Yep. Wow, deep.
Yep.
It ain't about living white. It's about living right.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where exactly that was, but let's just say, for the sake of conversation, he was like a truck driver, and he stopped in the middle of Idaho, Des Moines, Idaho or something.
Well, I'm glad. Not to cut you off, go ahead. I'm glad he did say where it was located, because the blacks will go there and steal that stuff.
They're on their way right now.
I'm glad he didn't cite the location.
Yeah.
All that stuff out in the open like that, it'll be over. They'll do their social media stuff and it'll be over.
Yep. What Hake would call a high trust society.
Wow.
That's what we're I don't know if he came up with that term.
That guy was so right though. It sounded like a black guy was saying that during the last.
Right. We don't have a high trust society anymore. We do, but just in small little pockets.
Small little pieces.
Yep.
What? No.
Yep.
Amazing. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem.
One of the experts and my producer, Sean, there. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
Super chat. Super.
Super chat.
Super chats.
Super chat. So busy on the show, I'm trying to make it fair and balanced. Making America great again.
Canadian David says, you become what you hate.
Did I open the treasure chest?
I forget. If you did, I didn't open it.
Treasure chest is open on D-Line. I forgot, I think. Okay.
Thank you, Canadian David, for that Rumble
Thank you,
support.
Canadian David.
Let's see. Over on Buy Me a Coffee, Zorak bought 3. How now, brown cow? Emoji.
Thank you. How now, brown cow?
Stan 69.
Darn, George. Go ahead.
Says, why do all the pastors / preachers have fancy cars? Moneybag emoji.
Who's that?
Stan 69.
Thank you, Stan 69.
With a diamond.
Amazing.
Soul Conscious bought 5 coffees. Jesse, the silent prayer truly shows we are all possessed.
Yeah.
Not being able to stay silent is possessed.
Absolutely. I want you just to repeat it again. It's not you, folks. It's the spirit of evil made a home in you. Passed down through your mama. All the way down from Eve. And it's not your mama per se. It's the spirit in her as well. So forgive her. She cannot help it and return to your father. Thank you.
Over on, also on Buy Me a Coffee, Evil is Real. Says our society will continue its plummeting into degeneracy and hell until we reinstitute the this freedom from this scaremongering about domestic violence.
Oh.
These laws about meddling with affairs between husbands and wives and stuff.
That's not going to happen. My country is over, but it doesn't have to be over for you if you start to live from within. And it'll be over for the folks out there who are fighting one another and all these stupid laws and stuff. But for you, you'll be at peace. It'll be amazing. Thank you.
Another coffee from someone. Jesse, someone in the chat is being pestered by visions of demons. How do they overcome it?
By forgiving, overcoming the anger. Go and forgive. And then do the silent prayer so you can overcome the imagination. And the demons will disappear. But you got to overcome the anger. Demons live off your anger. Amazing. Thank you.
A Rumble rant from that handyman. It's not the white way, it's the right way.
That's right. That was amazing. My producer put that together for me to react to. What? Don't tell the blacks where that's out. That stuff, that food and stuff, the oil out on the sidewalk. It ain't going to be that long if they find out. Amazing. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Thank you all so much. Thank you. Let me go to a first-time caller out of Georgia. Oh, mama. Tate, a first-time caller. Tate, we have about 2 or 3 minutes left. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for having me on the show.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to talk with you, get your opinion about, what to do with relationships, whether it be familial or also, romantic, that you're fighting to keep, you're fighting to hold on to, but your gut is telling you something different.
From this point forward, Tate, never, ever, 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 but never fight over a relationship. If you got to fight for it, it's not meant to be. It's just two devils fighting. If it doesn't come easy, it's not meant to be. And never fight over it.
What do you think about this? The old adage, like nothing worth having is, easy to come by, or something along those lines.
I don't understand. It's a made up another lie to keep you in prison. The only thing we're fighting for is giving up the fight to without fighting is overcoming evil. overcoming anger, overcoming the imagination. You watch yourself and overcome that. But never fight over anything. It ain't worth it. It's just two devils fighting, and you will live to regret it.
How do you overcome the sunken cost fallacy when it comes to human relationships? Some of these relationships are multiple years in. There has been a lot of fighting. There has been a lot of distress.
Hey, are you able to call me? Your call is so important. I don't want to rush through it. Are you able to call me back on Monday?
Absolutely. What time should I call?
Well, the show starts at 6 a.m. Pacific time, and you're like 3 hours ahead of us, I think, down in Georgia. And so from 6 to 9 is when the show is on. So a reminder, my producer, that I asked you to call back today. That way I can get right to your call.
All right. I really appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. Thank you now. I am so out of time. The Hake Report is coming up now from 9 to 11. And after that, at 12 noon, the FallenState.tv. And then at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. Get on that straight and narrow path and stay there. Travel alone on that straight and narrow. You can't bring anybody on this ride. Otherwise, you won't be made free. Do the prayer, silent prayer, www.silentprayer.video. And I'll see you at church on Sunday. Callers, I'm so out of time, and I try hard to get to everybody today, but it's impossible. We'll be back on Monday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Have an amazing weekend. Be still and know the Father. I return the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. That time is at hand right now. Have a good one, folks. Thank you for your super chats and all that. Go to rebuildingtheman.com and make a donation to support Barn and our work. Take care.
Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if you don't, then we lose, and then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
Must know that so you can. Something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause so you can. Something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing.